Now, more than 40 miles of levees surround Sacramento's Natomas Basin. Reclamation District 1000 is patrolling some of these areas as we speak as back-to-back storms continue. And what I was shown today was extremely eye-opening, as I just mentioned. Some of the critical interior infrastructure like pumps, they need updating. And other parts of the flood control system are under improvement by the Army Corps of Engineers. And for the last 2 years, the Reclamation District has been advocating for more funding, saying that we often don't think about water infrastructure until it's failed and danger's at our front door.
Try to tell them to keep their stuff cleared. This is what we use to patrol the levee system, right? Or the top of the levee. And you can see some of the issues that we run into being able to patrol when we're on our continuous 24/7 is trees. This is a large tree that fell overnight, but then also the encampments.
This is something frequently that you guys run into, is being able to just patrol.
And so most of the time, these events happen in the middle of the night for whatever reason, and there's a lot of hazards out here. Lots of dogs. There's lots of drug paraphernalia that it's just litters the ground. Some of the things that they do, although this one's not too concerning to me at this point, but you can see this is part of the levee. So we're down on the lower patrol road, and so part of the levee system here. But underneath the bridge abutment, you can see an excavation in the levee. And so what happens is when the water comes up, it starts eroding that material from that excavation, and that could lead to further and further degradation of the levee embankment.
With the amount of people here, is this a major concern for you guys that there are this many unhoused people this close to the water?
Yeah, it is a concern for us because of what comes along with it, right? The excavations, the dig during, our emergency response plan. It does prevent us from expeditiously going through and monitoring and inspecting the levee, and it slows us down. So we're not able to do it as efficiently or as fast because, if the roadway's blocked, and then obviously from a humanitarian standpoint, potential loss of life.
And what are your major concerns looking at the next 24 to 48 hours with another storm coming? What are your major concerns right now?
Biggest concern is the wind and power outages, which would take our pumping plants offline, and there's no guarantee of the restoration of that power in any time frame, right? So like SMUD over the weekend had 350,000 customers out of service at one point. We're one of them.
I know something that you've been working on is getting some more money to help you guys do some of the repairs that you need. And you said it's been, 30 years since you guys have gotten an increase in any type of funding to do some of the repairs. So talk to me a little bit about what you've been working on for a while now.
And it's been over 30 years since the district's raised its assessment rate for property owners. And so there's a lot of deferred maintenance that obviously has happened over the last 30 years that the district didn't have funding for. We're in the second step now on the funding proposal. Our ballots are going out January 15th, and so then the public will get to decide to approve or not approve the proposed fee. The increase would be roughly about $12 a year.
So once it goes on the ballot in January, should find out the results by March about how soon, if it does get passed, about how soon are you guys able to start doing the work, or when would the fees actually go into effect?
Yeah, if the voters do approve it on March 10th is the date, and then we'll count the ballots. We would place it on the tax rolls for 23-24 tax years. And so part of that fee would be to have spare backup parts, make sure all of our systems are standardized so that we can have an inventory of supplies that we could take to any one of our plants should we have a need. But yes, this facility is in a run to failure mode, hasn't had a major upgrade in over 30 years, and we are seeing signs of failure.
Everyone knows that Natomas is a floodplain, but talk to me about why it is so important to have this additional funding. Like if we saw flooding like we did on the New Year's Eve storm, what would that look like here in Natomas?
The New Year's Eve storm, if we had a failure that was seen like in South Sacramento, we would have potentially at maximum depth about 16 feet of standing water in South Natomas. And then further up north, it would be 3 to 4 feet of water. It would shut down Interstate 5, 80, 99, Sac International Airport would close down. So there's a lot at stake as far as the transportation corridors go. And then we also have 130,000 people that live within our basin.
District Reclamation 1000, I mean, you guys are responsible for keeping Over 130,000 people safe, and you have a staff of about 8 people. No pressure at all. But speaking to some of the residents here in Natomas, what do you want them to know about some of the work you guys are doing?
We are dedicated. We are ready to go at a moment's notice if we have a flood fight that we need to do. Don't wait around and say, oh, it's not going to get higher. If there is a evacuation notice issued, leave right away.
Now, one thing that I thought was interesting that Kevin mentioned during our ride along was that there is a difference in water temperatures between an area like Natomas and an area like New Orleans where Hurricane Katrina hit. And he told me that the water in New Orleans is about 70 degrees on average, 70 degrees and above. And in Natomas, it's about 50 degrees. So hypothermia is a real danger when you really think about people needing to swim or walk in water just to evacuate.